Do you remember your first fight? And then do you remember your first pro fight?
Yeah, I remember all the fights. I remember like my first pro fight, my first amateur fight. Sorry, it was down in Wollongong, where it's called the Wollongong Wars. Um, it happened so fast. The whole thing, like we went and drove down there, stayed at a hotel and whatever. But I never even weighed in against the guy I was gonna fight. So I don't know. I think maybe he was from down there, and so we had weigh-ins like where I live up in Sydney, and then I met him in the cage. I never really got to square off against him, see what he was looking like or anything. Even before the fight, I never even knew what he looked like.
So what was that experience like? Like obviously, being your first fight, do you think it worked in your favor not squaring off, or would you have preferred to square off? Like, do you remember the nerves and like what was the feeling like on your first fight?
Yeah, I would like to have met him beforehand because I just to think like I know I won the fight, but imagine it was someone like I don't even know the build of the guy, what he could do to me, or you know what I mean. Like it was just I just happened to go there and clash with the guy, So it was like I remember walking to the cage thinking, what the hell am I doing? Like why am I doing this? And yeah, I just it all happened like that. It actually finished in 12 seconds. I shot a double leg on him, and he landed awkwardly and popped his shoulder, and that was it. It was done. And home time. See you later.
Crazy. And so was your first pro fight, was that the one against Theo?
Yeah.
Yeah? Which is a tough fight for a first fight, right? Because, I give Theo a lot of props as well. I mean, he ended up becoming a champ and stuff like that. He's a solid fighter, right?
Actually, he's been training with us recently. So we ended up training together now. But, we fought at Penrith. Oh, sorry, St. Mary's Band Club for Gladiators. And I missed weight couple kilos. It was my first time trying to get to welterweight. I was always been a middleweight. It was probably like the worst experience of my life, like doing that weight cut. And then his coach wanted me to weigh in the next day at a certain weight, and I just okay, whatever. So I had to I was still dehydrated on the day of the fight, which looking back, I wish I never did it. But the fighter in me just wanted to fight.
And do you know what went wrong with your weight cut there? Like looking back on it now, and I always say with weight cuts, and especially if you're trying to make a new weight, like there's a science to it.
Yeah.
Right. But looking back now and knowing how you make weight now, do you know where you went wrong?
Yeah, I was way too big to go to welterweight that soon. I actually the next few fights, maybe the next 4 fights were at middleweight because I wasn't ready yet. I was not ready. And then I used to look up to Rob for how he used to cut weight, and he used to cut a lot of weight, and I was like, yeah, he can do that at that weight, I can do it at this weight. And then I was 84 kilos on the day of the weight cut, and I had to make 77, and after water loading, so I was already dehydrated from water loading, and then missed weight by 2. I was in the sauna for about 8 hours, and I lost about 5.5 kilos or something like that. And we were running late for the weigh-in. We actually still ran late. It was all like a blur. I couldn't see. I was tripping. I almost got run over in the car park on the way in, and then I squared off. I remember looking up at him and just blurry. I couldn't even see him properly. That's how bad I was.